Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I'm going to show you a lot of babies. We're going to get back to doing those clutch update videos that we used to do, and we kind of got away from. So we were trying to wait till they were ready to sell before we do it. There'd always be one struggler in there or something like that. We'd never get it done. We couldn't remember how many we did, and then by then time them to sold, so we just kind of stopped. We decided to start doing them a lot faster so we could show you a lot of babies. Let's start with the parents of this clutch. This would be our first clutch of the year. Hi, buddy. Whoa. This is my original bumblebee male. He isn't a bad looking guy. I mean, is there some brown to him? There is. Of course, they do darken. He's an older dude, still kicking ass and taking names. Now, he throws some really good babies. You're going to see them here in a second. Pretty awesome snake overall. The reason I used him in this pairing was because it wasn't that it was the animals I was looking for. It was because this is a female. I was having a little bit of a struggle getting her to go. She'd missed last few years, and I wanted to give her a really good chance to see if she was viable. And I know this male has always been a very prolific breeder for me, one of my best ones. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to throw you to her because he doesn't get used for anything else now at this point in time. Our breeding plans have moved beyond using a straight bumblebee male. So we use him for things like that. Let's look at the mother now. The mother was a nice blue-eyed leucistic. So a solid bell, super lesser. As you can see, she does exhibit a little bit of a bug eye, which isn't going to hurt anything. That's pretty normal for these on the super lessers. It will not pass on to her offspring or anything like that. It only shows up in the super form. Doesn't hurt them at all. Really nice. Reason I like super lessers is this is just super white. The only way you're going to get this white is super lesser or a Russo. Super Russo would do it as well. Everything else has got like a little bit of yellow tinge to it or things. If you want really white, super lesser is the key. She was also possible pastel, just based on the pairing that made her. She did prove out to not be pastel, which is fine. We wanted to keep her because she was a bell. One of the first two bells we ever made. We kept both of them. Let's start showing you the babies. So it's going to start right here with this little bitty guy. And he is simply nothing too crazy. A little lesser pastel, we believe. And you can tell that by the head, how nice and blushed it is and how much has come from the sides. After a few sheds, if it darkens up, we may say, maybe just lesser, but we get pretty certain this is lesser pastel. Really dig them. You can also see the blushing through there. That'll kind of give that away too. Really nice little snake. Again, this isn't going to be a super high value clutch. This is mostly to get that female rolling for future years. And she did give us, I should say, 6 eggs. I believe it was 6. All 6 hatched and were healthy. So good start to the year. We got this little one here. Now this is going to look a little bit different. If you look, it's going to be darker, not as much blushing. The head, see how the head's darker? This is just straight lesser, no pastel in this, but a nice little lesser male. We really sucked on the sex odds on this clutch. That's going to happen sometime. Hi, little buddy. But this is a little lesser male. This is one we're still getting to feed really good and consistently, but he's got good size to him, so he's okay for a little while longer before we try cranking that up to something different. Now, this is what you're kind of after in that clutch right here. This is a queen bee. So this is going to be the triple, the lesser, the pastel, and the spider. So everything is in there. And as you can see, it moves really good. We're not doing corkscrews or anything like that. This thing's also already feeding good. So nice little queen bee right there. I do love these things. I do think they're very gorgeous snakes. They're going to get a little bit of hate in the modern market because of the spider, so it's not going to really add a lot of value versus a lesser pastel going to a queen bee. But it looks cooler, looks way better. This thing's awesome looking, so I do dig the queen bees. Something I keep. I've got an adult one myself I use for breeding. Whoa! Tried to run out of my hands, but I was quicker than it. So no hitting the floor for you, snake. Tried really hard. Whew, that was a close one. Had to let it slide through it, had to catch it through the next one. She's making me work out. So we'll go on to 220104. This is another queen bee, and if it's calm, I'm going to show you something with it, which is looking nice and calm. So again, lesser pastel and whatchamacallit in there, spider, right? So this one here is a lesser bee. This will give you a chance to see the difference in the two. So again, the pattern is going to be very much the same, right? But look at the difference in color. This queen bee is several shades lighter, more blushing throughout, than the heads are going to be telltale. Very dark on the head, very light on the head. See the stamp? Stamp's almost all washed out with white. In this one, there you go. So you can tell the queen bee versus straight lesser bee. Lesser bee is missing pastels. This is a lesser spider. This is a lesser pastel spider. Our long-term goal is to add axanthic into stuff like this, which we've got the heads to do, which I think will be a very, very awesome looking snake. Put you guys both up. And as you can see, despite what people would think, all these crawl around really nice. Nobody's freaking out. And last, but certainly not least, is another lesser bee here. And again, you can kind of see that dark head. You can see that pattern and that color. They're just a very, very pretty snake. To me, you know, if there's a couple things spider pairs with really, really nice, it's anything with pastel and anything with lesser. Now, when you can actually add more genes into this pattern change and almost kind of wash it out, almost overpower the spider, believe it or not, because you can see some traditional pattern showing up in these. But I just think the overall coloration and pattern, when you get that spider going on in these, is just really nice. It's really, really nice. So I really do dig these. Kurt, anything you want to add about this set of babies?
So no bumblebees because of the super lesser?
Yes, so because we use the super, that's a good point. With using the bell, we guaranteed lesser in every single baby. So we knew we wouldn't make it normal. So you're going to have lesser across the board. So then what you're really dealing with is pastel and spider to pass on. And you're looking at basically 1 in 4 odds on everything. You know, you can have a 1 in 4 odds of a lesser, 1 in 4 odds of a lesser bee, 1 in 4 odds of a lesser pastel, and 1 in 4 odds of a queen bee. So 1 in 4 for everything. So we did pretty decent on the odds themselves. We hit 1 straight lesser, and that was it. And we hit, spider was pretty strong in here, which is an uncommon. We seem to do pretty good with that male. He likes to pass on his genes, although he has missed sometimes. Usually he's right about where he should be, though, half or a little bit better. So he does a good job. All right, anything else you want to add?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. That is clutch update from 2022, clutch number 1. Lesser bee, or sorry, a bumblebee to a super lesser. Thanks for watching. We're going to start with a Patreon and tell you what we're going to do with all these babies.